everyone, we are live for Windy City Hockey for 24 hours before the future of your Chicago Blackhawks will be drafted on stage in Nashville. Yes, we are only 24 hours away from the Blackhawks selecting first overall from the Regina Pats, Connor Bedard. And I want to start this live stream off by going back on May 8th to the day history was made. So sit back, relax, and let's rewatch history from the day we find out that Connor Bedard was one for your Chicago Blackhawks. So here we go. Yeah, here we are. Back in the video to when we won the draft lottery for my reaction. So many
Hawks win! Hawks win! The biggest Hawks win! Hawks win in a long time! The Chicago Blackhawks win the 2023
I will be
Connor Bedard sweepstakes! Yes! The draft lottery is a success.
I will be at the draft party tomorrow.
Blackhawks.
So if anyone's going to the Blackhawks draft party in downtown Chicago, let me know. I will be there.
We got the first overall.
Hey Jack, hey Brian, hey Nick, hey Ryan, hey Skylar. How are all of you guys doing today? Because we're only 24 hours away.
Good comes to the Blackhawks. Connor Bedard, I hope you like it. The Windy City will welcome you because we got the first overall selection in this year's NHL Draft. Connor Bedard,
Stenberg at 19.
Generational
That would be a solid
talent.
pick.
Should be drafted first overall, and he's coming to Chicago. The Hawks are drafting first overall in Nashville for the draft, and we got him. The first overall selection belongs to your Chicago Blackhawks. We got it. Woo.
What if Davidson doesn't draft him?
Ryan,
don't make me think of that. I think I think we'll get. If we don't draft him, God, that's going to be such a letdown.
The jersey I actually had a winning record with this season, wearing the worst jersey in Blackhawk history. I decided to wear it because we had a winning record in it when I wore it. We won the draft lottery. Connor Bedard should be, hopefully, the Blackhawks don't screw it up because we got the first overall draft pick. The last time that happened, 2007. Patrick Kane.
Wait, what?
Now, the
Tyler Toffoli's a devil?
Future. Connor
That's actually
Bedard.
Interesting trade. I did not expect that to be announced. I would have thought that would have been a draft day type of trade.
Are going to be drafting first overall.
Yeah. Frank Silverelli also confirming Tyler Toffoli to the Devils in exchange for Igor Yurigovic in a third.
This is what happiness feels like. Oh my God. I'm so
the pick number 88.
We actually jumped
was that the actual Devils pick?
To get first. This is a great day, Chicago. This is a great day to be a Chicago Blackhawk fan. The Blackhawks are going to draft a generational talent in this year's draft. We got him.
That is now 5 trades. It sounds right for
Yes.
today.
Yes.
Yeah, normally there's about that many
Let's
trades the day before the
go.
draft.
I lost
But
my
usually
voice,
when it involves
but
like a
I
third
don't
round pick,
care.
it's usually
This
on
is an amazing
the
day
day of
in
that draft.
Blackhawks history. This is an amazing moment in this
I really
recent,
hope the Hawks do
horrible
try and move
season.
up in the draft
We
tomorrow,
get some
as
bright
it would
light.
be very
We're getting
beneficial
Connor
if they can try and get a
Bedard,
higher
who
draft pick
should
from
be
that number
and
19.
most likely will be first overall by your Chicago Blackhawks. Down in the comments down below, I want to hear what your thoughts are, because
All right, we'll
Hawks
end
win!
the
Hawks
replay
win!
from draft
Bedard!
lottery night.
Bedard!
That's yeah, the Alex Newhook trade was an interesting one. Yeah, there was no voice there, Jake. Yeah, Ryan, I know what you're talking about. I don't think Kyle Davidson will pull a Stan bonehead at the draft tomorrow by not by Pat. If Stan Bowman would have drafted the wrong guy, he would not have drafted Connor Bedard. I trust Kyle Davidson. He's too smart of a guy to not trust. I wonder where Stalock is going to sign. Yeah, I don't know where Stalock will sign. It's going to probably be a team that needs maybe a backup goalie who can play about 30 games, maybe. A team I could see Stalock ending up in that could use a goalie like his help. Winnipeg. Maybe. The PLD trade, Alex Newhook, Mackenzie Blackwood, and now Tyler Toffoli all traded. Yeah, all interesting moves. And the Hawks really got it all started yesterday with the Taylor Hall and Nick Foligno deal coming to the Windy City. Ducks brought back Andrew Augustino from the Sharks in exchange for Andre Suter. Really? Did that just get announced? I'm guessing now we can confirm the Calgary Flames are going into full rebuild. Guys, let me know. Are you going to the draft party in Chicago at the Salt Shed? If so, let me know, because I'm going to be there, and it should be a fun day, a fun night. I swear. God, their Twitter. Yeah, the hot dogs schedule they released. If you're all wondering what Ryan's talking about with the hot dogs, I could show you, because yeah, the way the Hawks did their home schedule release, they used hot dogs for all teams, which is interesting, right? It's loading. Oop. Out 2 hours. Yeah, Jake, the Hawks used hot dogs representing each team in the league for their schedule. So they definitely need to now sign the legendary hot dog man himself in Phil Kessel. Is my stream still coming through for you guys? Let me know, because if it's not, I will try and fix that real quick. Yep, here is the Blackhawks home schedule via hot dogs. If that's not a clue, Phil Kessel's a Blackhawk, then nothing is, because that's all hot dogs, and Phil Kessel's the hot dog man, and let's be honest. This is the only way to tell. Okay. I think it's because I'm using two different browsers here. So I'll remove that. But yeah, as you could tell, it was hot dogs that they were using. That should have fixed it. Yeah, I would. Let's be honest. Phil Kessel in a Blackhawk uniform is almost fitting at this point, because he's the hot dog man, and Chicago is known for some good hot dogs. For Tyler Toffoli being how good he is, it's odd to see he seems to be traded or rumored to be moved every offseason. Yeah, that is true. There, I think it's weird that Toffoli gets moved quite more than he should. Toffoli, it seemed like he actually really liked it in Calgary, but it sounded like he the other day he asked to be traded from Calgary. By the way, if he signs, will you get a Kessel Blackhawks jersey? Maybe. If Phil Kessel signs as a Blackhawk, maybe I will get a Phil Kessel Blackhawk jersey. He would have to change his number up. Granted, the number 8 is available in Chicago, unless like Taylor Hall or Nick Foligno wants it, but I don't think they will. But Duclair may be traded. Really? I'm kind of shocked the Panthers would trade Duclair. I thought they really like him in their system. Guys, if you haven't done so already, try and get this channel to 1,000 subscribers by tomorrow, as we are. At this point, I believe, the last I checked, I'm pulling it back up, 30 subscribers away from the 1,000 mark. Let's try and reach it. Kraken have re-signed defenseman Gustav Olofsson to a 2-year, $775K. Yeah, I did see the Olofsson deal. It happened right before I hit the live button, if I remember, if I'm correct about that. And New Jersey just officially announced the Toffoli trade. Yeah, Calgary is going to be a mess. Are they going into that full? Are they going to go full rebuild here? Who do you think? Hawks sign in free agency? Now, that's a good question. I think the Hawks will try and go after a couple players. Maybe bring back Max Domi. Maybe sign JT Compher. Those two players I would be really okay in bringing in. Compher, a Chicago native. He seems to have had mutual interest with the Blackhawks already, as Jay's Slavinsky of the CHGO Blackhawks podcast basically said that the other day. Max Domi just seems like a perfect fit because he worked perfectly in the Blackhawks system last year, but I think he might have played himself out of playing in Chicago. Not going to lie, at this point, Calgary should go into full rebuild. Yeah, at this point, I think it's going to happen. They have a new GM, and the players might want to be moved out, so I think the Flames might be in the start of a full teardown and go into a rebuild. Yeah, it sucks to see for Flames fans. They have a team that should be much better than they are. That's how it is. That's personally what it is. That team should be much better than what they do on ice. So, guys, I have a question for you. What style Blackhawks jersey should I wear to the draft party tomorrow? As I have a couple I have in mind. Who do you think the Canadiens are drafting? Okay. Do you want me to give my top 5 picks in the NHL draft who I project to go in those 5 positions of the draft? No, Habs, I will not be at the Blackhawk. I would not be in the Nashville for the draft. I will be in Chicago for the Blackhawks draft party that they're hosting. Give my top 5 picks. Okay. Well, obviously at number 1, it's going to be number 98 of the Regina Pats, Connor Bedard. At number 2, I'm going to be basic here and go from Michigan, Adam Fantilli to the Anaheim Ducks. At number 3, to the Columbus Blue Jackets. This is the one I think we see a little bit of shakeup. They're not going to take Leo Carlson. They will be taking they're going to take Mitchkov. I have that weird suspicion the Blue Jackets are going to take Mitchkov at number 3. So that means at number 4, the San Jose Sharks. And there's something with the Blue Jackets and trying. Okay, I can see it go either in 2 ways. The Blue Jackets have a team where they're building for the future and they can wait for a prospect 3 years from now to come into the NHL. Mitchkov is still a highly sought after player, but the realistic player I could see them taking is Carlson or Will Smith. But I really have that weird suspicion Jarmo Kekalainen is going to try and make a risky move and take Mitchkov. But if they don't, it's going to be Leo Carlson. So let's just say this. It's going to be Blackhawks with Bedard, Fantilli with the Ducks, and I will go Leo Carlson at 3rd to the Blue Jackets. Will Smith will end up with the San Jose Sharks. And something about the Canadiens, Zach Benson. I could see them take Zach Benson. Okay. Who do I have the Hawks taking at 19 if it's not traded? Okay. Who will I say the Hawks take? No way Leo Carlson goes out of the top 5. I don't have Carlson going out of the top 5. I do have him going at 3, but a team like the Blue Jackets, they tend to go off the board. Jarmo Kekalainen has been known to go off the board. It would not surprise me if they do take Mitchkov, but it's going to be Leo Carlson going at 3 in the draft. Okay? That's how I predicted it. Blackhawks Bedard, Fantelli Ducks, Carlson Blue Jackets, Will Smith to the Sharks, and Zach Benson to the Canadiens. That's how I have it. But Mitchkov could be a good pick to the Canadiens. They can wait 3 years, have Mitchkov come in right at Cole Caulfield's prime, and they can work. Ryan Leonard's a good pick, but Zach Benson for me, I just feel like kind of fits the Canadian system a little bit. Where can I see Mitchkov going? Okay. If the Blue Jackets don't take Mitchkov, I could see Mitchkov dropping down to Arizona. Okay, let's go to pick number 19. The Hawks own pick number 19. And, well, pick number 19 for the Blackhawks is an interesting one. There's rumors they're going to try and move up, package one of our 4 second-round picks to go with that first rounder this year. To move up in the draft. But if they don't move up, they stay at pick number 19 at Tampa Bay's pick. There's 2 players I could see the Hawks doing if they're not taken. I could see them take Daniel Boot from the KHL Locomotive. That team and that player is a big player. The Hawks do need some size on forward for wing. Boot brings it. He's 6'5". Or they take a risky pick. And that risky pick is Andrew Crystal from Kelowna. I do like Crystal. The thing with it being a risky pick is his skating ability. And Daniel Boot has skill and size. Something the Hawks could use on the wing. He's a left winger at 6'5", 205 pounds. The thing with Crystal, he's had in the second half of the season, his stock really dropped. He was originally viewed upon as a top 10 pick in this year's draft. But his stock has dropped after people started seeing more and more footage of him and scouting him, where he could go into the early 20s, to late 20s. That's how Crystal has gone. He is his stock dropped because of his skating ability. Another player I would like to see is Braden Yeager. He's a good prospect to go after, a good centerman. Goes with, but I would like to see maybe some size come in that second pick with the Hawks. Guys, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already, as we're trying to reach that 1,000 subscriber mark. That would be interesting to see. It could happen. So, guys, let's just say, I want to hear what your top 5 draft picks are going to be. Who you think are going in the top 5 of the NHL draft. I would say this, originally this stream would have been a good stream where I was going to do a mock draft, but it was taking too much time where I couldn't do it. But that's all. I wanted to do a mock draft today, but it just did not work out. Okay, Habs has Bedard, Fantelli, Smith. Somehow feels like Columbus will do it. Yeah, I could see Columbus going after Will Smith. Carlson, Mitchkoff, or Leonard. Ryan with Bedard, obviously. Fantelli, Carlson, Will Smith, Mitchkoff. Okay. Brian, who do you have going in the top 5? Sorry. Bedard, obviously. Yes. Every word out of every Hawks fan's mouth has been Connor Bedard. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of top 10 prospects move around. I could see that too, Ryan. And that's why I could see a play like Columbus kind of move around, making some surprising pick at number 3. Okay, Habs has his top 10. Okay. So Bedard, Fantelli, Will Smith, Carlson, Mitchkoff, Renbacker, Ryan Leonard, Dvorsky, Benson, Oliver Moore. That's a solid setup. When we draft him tomorrow, I'm buying. I want to do that too. I will like to do the same thing. Maybe if the Blackhawks are going to do something special at the draft party, maybe they roll out the Bedard jerseys as soon as he's drafted and they start giving and selling them at the draft party. That would be an amazing thing, because if they do, so that would be a smart move. Because let's be honest, the Blackhawks store already knows who the Hawks are taking. They would be smart to bring in the Connor Bedard jerseys right after he's drafted and start selling them immediately. I think he will wear. Yeah, I think Bedard will wear number 98 as well. I think we need. Okay. Connor has. Brian has Bedard, Fantelli, Smith, Carlson. Okay. Off the board pick of David Rembecker to the Habs. That's an interesting pick. I bet the Hawks already are producing Bedard jerseys right now. They have been, I will say this. The Blackhawks have been doing pre-orders the last, 3 weeks on the Blackhawks store, if I remember correctly. That's when the first time I noticed it was. And, well, they would be smart because, let's be honest, no one's going above Connor Bedard in this year's draft. Yeah, I don't know what the Wild will be doing, Jake. Yeah, I could see a couple different picks for the different type of picks for the for the Wild. Sorry. That's another player I would like to see it if he's at number 19, but I don't think he would be. I honestly was thinking the Jets were going to take Matthew Wood. I would like Matthew Wood in a Blackhawks uniform because they really could use the size and puck moving ability that Matthew Wood does bring. If we can draft Andrew Crystal, that will be great. It would be cool. It would be a cool story that the Blackhawks draft Connor Bedard and his best friend Andrew Crystal in the first round of this year's NHL draft. I would like that, but it would be very. I don't know if it's going to happen. Yeah, I know. That's why I said I don't think he will be at number 19. If he did drop to pick number 19 and the Hawks still are drafting at that spot, take Matthew Wood. It's a solid pick. You have Crystal going to Seattle at 20. Okay. You should wear the. Oh, you're saying I should wear the reverse retro 1.0 or 2.0 to the party? I might wear this jersey, don't know quite yet. I'm also thinking maybe wearing the special edition Blackhawks Foundations night jersey. I'm thinking maybe this. But I still have a little bit of time to decide because I'm leaving to go to the draft party in the morning since I have to drive a couple hours north. Hopefully next season we will do better. I can see the Blackhawks play a lot better. The way it's looking, the Hawks are kind of looking like a better setup to play more competitive next season. Yeah, I don't know. I may wear this unique jersey. It's a made in Canada special edition Blackhawks Foundations Night jersey. If the NHL didn't stop wearing, if the NHL didn't do the stupid rule they just put into place by ending the special jerseys like for warm-ups, this thing was one of the nicest ones. I still want to get a name and number on this thing. Don't know quite yet. Maybe Kurashev goes on this, because Kurashev did wear this jersey. And I believe this was one of Marc-Andre Fleury's last jerseys he got to wear. Yeah, I'm not going into the warm-up details what I'm talking about, but it's stupid. Devils made a Miles Wood trade available. Oh, wait, made Miles Wood available for trade. If the Hawks make good free agent moves, I could see maybe a few spots outside of wild card. I don't think the Hawks are going to try and touch wild card. The reason here I say this, I still think the Hawks are going to be maybe the second worst team in the Central Division next year, but very competitive and fun to watch. It's a year for development. It's not a year to go for playoffs. I want to see them develop well, play good competitive hockey. They're going to lose here and more than they're going to win, but they're going to be in more games than not. Like they did last year. Let's be honest. Last year's team, they were more competitive than what we give them credit for. They stayed in a lot of their games. They did not bend when they honestly, frankly, should have. They played hard each and every game. Next year, I think we're going to see a lot more skill out of them and playing with fun hockey. The Hawks are going to be one of the youngest teams in the NHL next year. Even if we have a couple older guys like Tyler Johnson, Nick Foligno, and just a couple others. But that's it. The Hawks are still going to be a solid roster. They're going to turn over the puck a lot, but it's a year for development. It's a year to learn. That's what this season's going to be about. Montreal Canadiens is one of the youngest teams. Yeah, I know the Habs are one of the younger teams. Really? You think they want him in next year's draft? Have the Hawks winning, I'd say 35 to 40 games. I don't have them that high. I could see 25 to 30. Trust me, I don't think the Hawks are going to be super competitive next year. They're going to be like a team on a learning path. They're trying to figure things out as things go. They're going to be a young hockey team getting some wins here and there, but they're going to lose more than they honestly will win. I would hope for more wins than last year as well. Jared Young. Okay. As a Cub. Whew. Tired. It's been a long day, and I guarantee it, I'm not going to get much sleep at all tonight because I have Connor Bedard on my head where we are going to be getting him. What do you mean they're getting hosed? I feel so old. Really? It's the 15th anniversary of that movie? I would not have thought that. The draft pick the Flames received at number 80 was originally the Flames pick. They traded it to the Kraken for Kelly Young Croak, who then traded that pick to the Blue Jackets for Bjorkstrand. Traded to the Devils for Damon Severson, and traded back to the Flames for Toffoli. So the Flames legitimately just got back one of their original picks. Now, how rare is that? I think the last time I could think of that happening was actually the Hawks and the Brandon Saad draft pick. The pick that turned into Brandon Saad. I think that happened. Oh, wow. Yeah, the trade for Toffoli was a bad trade. The trade that the Flames made today, trading Toffoli to the Devils, was a bad trade. Ducks named Ryan Getzlaff as a development coordinator. Yeah, I did see that, and that's a good thing to see. Getzlaff working with the prospects, and Anaheim should be a smart move. So many news and short span of time. Yeah, that's hockey. That's usually what happens in this week of the NHL. Draft week is usually the busiest news week for the NHL because 2 days after is free agency day. Oh wait, they traded their first with Monahan to Montreal. Teams are scrambling before the draft. That's always what happens. Oh, okay. Charles Williams has this announced retirement. I always call the week of the draft is like the week of the draft is silly season in the NHL. That's when you see GMs go stupid. Because let's be honest, Stan Bowman on draft week, he was an idiot on draft week by making terrible trades and questionable draft picks. And then free agency signings on the 1st of July. What's happening? We're seeing GMs go stupid right now. The trade that Kyle Davidson made yesterday was a smart trade. They traded away 2 players who aren't ever going to be in the Blackhawks' future. Was Bowman picking Reichel a good pick? Yes, that's like one of the only good picks that Bowman made. Okay. Yeah, I'm glad it's this time of the year. Also, Brian, was Bowman picking? Yeah, I already said what I said. Which, if you got the right GM, you can really go crazy and rebuild and become a force quickly. Ask Winnipeg today. Winnipeg really does not want to go into a rebuild. That's the thing with Winnipeg. They want to basically retool on the fly. And that's what Winnipeg's doing. Yeah, basically, the Hawks did Jake Ottinger for Henry Yokiharu. The Hawks traded the pick that ended up being Jake Ottinger, and we ended up taking Henry Yokiharu just a few picks later. Do you still regret the Adam Boqvist trade? Yes. I do think that trade's still a bad trade, but I'm okay with Steph Jones. I will say that, but the cap hit's not good that Bowman signed. And Jones is a better defenseman than Boqvist right now. Still, Boqvist isn't even on their top 7 in defensive charts for the Blue Jackets anymore. Winnipeg is in turmoil with the players not wanting to stay, including Connor Hellebuck. Yes, I will agree there. The Jets are in turmoil. That team has a cancerous locker room, it feels like. I could say that. Just because the players all went out and just how everything seems like they're going in Winnipeg. Just not good. Cap is horrible for him. Yeah. I feel like in the future, there's going to need to dump Jones. It's going to be difficult to offload Jones's contract on someone, but maybe if the cap goes up by a ton by the end of his contract, they will offload the contract somewhere. Yeah, I could see Bonk going to the Flyers. That sounds like a Flyers type of pick. The Tyler Johnson and a second for Brent Seabrook contract was a great trade by Bowman. Yeah, that was a great trade by Bowman. That happened the night before day 1 of the draft, and it worked out well. Tyler Johnson's playing well, and I believe we're using that second round pick this year from Tampa. And Seabrook's been retired for over 3 years at this point. Do I think Seabrook could become a good mentor and development coach to the young players coming up? I would be okay with the Hawks trying to bring in Siebes after his contract's up after this coming season. Tampa doesn't have a first this year and next year because the deal of Hagel. They don't have a first for like the next 4 years. 7 up in the rafters. I hope they do. Here's why. Brent Seabrook is a 3-time Stanley Cup champion, a leader to the Blackhawks locker room. And also, if they do retire the 7 for Brent Seabrook, they will have to retire the 7 for Chris Chelios. Chelios won multiple Norris trophies with the Blackhawks, and he was a cornerstone player with the team. He is now back with the organization. I could see the Hawks do a specialty thing and retire both 7 for Seabrook and Chris Chelios. Tampa needs to stay competing for the next 4 years, and yeah, they do. Oh, I know. We could have Cole Sillinger and David Juracek, but we don't. We have Kevin Korchinski because we traded Brinket away. Patrick Kane should retire jersey with the Hawks after retirement, and Tease and Kane, their jerseys are locks to be retired. Duncan Keith's is a lock to retire too. Yeah, I can't wait for the Blackhawks 100th anniversary as well. Maybe they do something special, bring out a lot of throwback jerseys and wear them for one night like what Montreal did. Or they do something special and do what the Boston Bruins are doing by wearing their one of their classic logos on their current jersey for this centennial season. I could see the Hawks doing something by maybe putting the going back to the Stan Mikita era jerseys. They threw back to those in the 2017 Winter Classic, but we haven't seen a red throwback to them. I could see something unique by the Hawks and their 100th anniversary. It would make sense to do a unique set of jerseys for the Hawks. They have so many in their history. They could bring back that jersey. They definitely need to bring back the Black Third, but the Black Third should be our full-time third. But we don't have a third. Everyone was saying DeBrincat trade was a fleece for Ottawa. But since then, the Sens want to trade him now over the last few months. I believe we won that trade. And you could say that, Nick. I do agree there. The Hawks, they did lose a little bit on that trade, but the fact is, we got Kevin Korchinski coming, and Korchinski's looking like he could be the next Duncan Keith of the Blackhawks. The Bruins are going to be wearing their normal jerseys, but with a classic Bruin logo on the front of it this year. I think we'll see the jersey tomorrow at the draft. Does the Bruins actually draft in the first round? No, they don't. Yeah, we used Ottawa's first to get Korchinski last year. And Korchinski developing well. Looks like he could be a future number one defenseman on the team. So I would be okay. That brought Andrew Schaub was bad. The picks we gave to the Habs turned out to. Oh, I did not realize that's who ended up being drafted by the Habs for the Schaub trade. But think about it. When we traded Shaw to the Habs, we drafted Alex DeBrincat with that pick. And Shaw came back and retired a Hawk, so. And now Korchinski's in the pipeline, so. Korchinski's looking promising for Chicago. He's a good defenseman. He should go to the. He can't go to the AHL. He's too young to. What I see happening with Korchinski, he plays a 9-game tryout next season and gets sent back to the Seattle Thunderbirds afterwards. Yes, we did draft DeBrincat with the Montreal pick that was traded for Andrew Shaw. What's up, Rick? Thanks. Who's on yours, Rick? Breaking news of the DEL. Germany just signed defenseman Justin Braun, which is odd because he just retired because I guess he retired from the NHL, not pro hockey. That could have been a thing. Look what Jarmerson did. Okay, that's a good pick for yours. I went with Lucas Reichel on mine. The reason I did Reichel, I made a bet and said if Reichel scores his career first goal and they were wearing these jerseys, I will get Reichel put on my jersey. And he ended up scoring his career first goal. I believe it was like 4 minutes into a game against the Flames. And I got Lucas Reichel on my jersey. He ended up with a 3-point night wearing that in that game as well. Yeah, I have Kane on the other reverse retro. I also have Doc on the other reverse retro. That one didn't turn out so well at that point. For me, I thought most of my picks made sense. Yeah, understandable. If the Habs draft Leonard or Smith, I'll be happy even with Benson. Okay. Yeah, that will be a interesting top 6. We did not get. We actually got a we drafted a prospect who's looking like he could be a lethal goal scorer in the NHL. And Frank Nazar. Okay. Interesting. I think Frank will stay healthy. I know that's a worry for Frank, but apparently that injury happened before we even drafted him, so he needed to get surgery already. And I guess the Hawks weren't worried too much about it, so they drafted him anyways. And he looked really good when he did return to Michigan's lineup last year. I mean, Doc was not working for the Blackhawks at all. His younger brother might be developing better than Kirby Doc was for Chicago purposes. Colton looks like he might be developing more sound than how Kirby is. Kirby is a streaky player. Traditional markets mostly, and only went with 6 Southern teams. Interesting. Where do you think Gavin Hayes plays next year? Will Hayes be able to play in the AHL at all? If not, I think he'll stay back in the O. I like Gavin, but I think he'll likely stay back in the OHL. Blues took. Yeah, the Blues robbed Philadelphia. That was such a bad trade by Danny Briere. Just see it. Yeah, I don't know if Taze does go anywhere. I think Taze will likely retire. I don't want to see him in any other uniform. It will just be weird. He'll forever be Chicago's captain, and I just can't see Taze Lee going to a different team. I frankly think he's going to retire because he's already come out saying that he's not going to be signing with any teams this coming Saturday, the 1st. He wants to still decide his future for hockey playing ability, and I think that means he's probably going to retire here. Yeah, Kirby versus Colton and a matchup would be fun. If he retires, do you think his banner raising ceremony will be this season? I could see it. I could realistically see that happening, Ryan. But maybe the Hawks will wait just a year to get the everything scheduled properly. Because sometimes sorry. That is something that they would want to schedule properly and give us night to announce it. That's what they did with Hosa. No, I think they will do it. And once Taze retires, I can see the Hawks announce that they're retiring his number. I just don't know if they'll do a banner raising ceremony this year or wait till next year. You know what would be a smart move? If they did a banner raising ceremony for Taze, and if he does decide to retire, Taze gets to choose the next captain of the Chicago Blackhawks at the ceremony. NHL includes Phoenix, Dallas, Houston, Tampa, Atlanta, Nashville. I also put Wisconsin. Okay. David Camp could be a free agent. Are the Maple Leafs letting Camper walk? If they do, Hawks sign Camp to a cheap deal and bring him home. He worked so great in a Blackhawks uniform. I loved David Camp. He was one of my favorites. I think it will be a cool idea. Here's the thing. Do I think that will actually be a case where they would do something like that? No. I realistically think the Hawks are waiting a few years to announce that their captain to be Connor Bedard. Right now, our unofficial true captain of the team, since Taze is not going to be returning to the team, it's Connor Murphy. Murphy is the captain of the Chicago Blackhawks right now. He won't be wearing the C on his jersey, but Murphy is going to be the captain of the Blackhawks, but won't wear the C just because I don't think we'll see a captaincy for a few years. Probably 3, maybe 4 years. We need defensive forwards. We do, and David Camp would bring that. Nick Foligno's a good defensive forward as well. Honestly, I could see Bedard become the next captain of the Blackhawks. Even though there is a player on the team who, frankly, might be deserving of wearing the C at this point, even though, as I already said, he won't be wearing it because the Hawks won't be having a captain probably for the next few years. But yeah, Bedard's already showing maturity that looks very interesting. This is my 11 to 20th. Let's see. You have Barlow going 12th. Okay. Pelika going 13. Jaeger at 14. Sale at 15. Nate Danielson at 16. At 17, you have Gabe Perreault, Matthew Wood, Tom Willander. Okay, for the Hawks. That's an interesting pick. Andrew Crystal, 20th. Gavin Brentley at 21. Bonk at 22. Those are solid picks. I could see something happening like that. But guys, I've been live for an hour, a little bit over an hour now. And I want to let you guys know that I will be cutting the stream here off in the next 3 minutes. So get your final questions out there. And please make sure if you're new to the channel, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already, as we're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers here shortly. Well, hopefully tomorrow. But the last I checked, we were 30 subscribers away. I don't know if the Hawks are going to bring back JF Berube. I get it, he's decent, but at this point, he's not worth bringing back. It looks like our goaltending tandem in Rockford's going to be Comesso and Stahlberg next year, which is a solid tandem. Maybe get a veteran in. If they could get a cheap AHL veteran goalie, I will be okay with it. Wait, what? D'Angelo traded to the Hurricanes. I did see they wanted to bring back D'Angelo, but the CBA is holding the trade at the moment. That's weird. Let me see if where you're saying something like that. Who's reporting that, Skylar? The guy's a prick. Yeah, that is for sure. That is true. He is definitely a prick. But I don't know where I don't see any reports about that. So Philly and the Hurricanes apparently make a trade. Day ago on. Oh, okay. That explains it. There's been so much hockey news that's been going around. I've lost track at this point. I knew there was rumors that he was going to be traded back to the Hurricanes, but I didn't know if it was happening. Didn't know if anything occurred from it. But guys, it's now an hour and 10 minutes into the stream. I still need to get some dinner. And tomorrow, it's going to be a historic moment for your Chicago Blackhawks. I will try and have videos up. I'm going to try and vlog at the draft party and have fun there, because if you guys, this is a historic day coming tomorrow. Connor Bedard should be, and hopefully will be, drafted by the Chicago Blackhawks first overall from your Chicago for the NHL, because this is the team's future. All right. So I want to say thank you for those who are coming, who got to watch the stream live. If you're watching the stream through replay, thank you for watching the broadcast. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And it's here. Connor Bedard should be and will be a Chicago Blackhawk.